hard to get the last 10th of a second, isn't it? Welcome to my track block, second time round on the hill climb by driver Dyamics, chasing the 59-second mark. People have asked me, haven't you done the last time already? Well, not quite, because traditionally the GTS measure when you crosses the line, so you have some sort of velocity when you start the timing. But what the Racechrono have done is to make a starting area, so they start the measurement when you're actually having some sort of speed. Let's make it more accurate in this form. And last time round I actually did 60.90 seconds. Actually I thought I wouldn't be able to achieve my best time today because of forecasting rain. It has been raining quite heavily 2 days before, and it's actually quite sunshine. 28 degrees up to in the afternoon and 45 degrees on the track. It's a beautiful day. Well, because of the forecast, a lot of people actually didn't turn up, but Uncle Pete did turn up, and so does Kevin with his jokes too.
Also still missing a few drops, which is quite interesting. Pete will do a safety briefing with you, and the reason why they're called safety briefings is because they're brief, and we'll get you out on the circuit as quickly as we possibly can. By 3 o'clock, the biggest problem we normally have on our track days is getting people out on the circuit. So, although it's a little bit of a slow start this morning, we promise you you'll get lots and lots of laps. What I can tell you,
well, everybody first lap is like this.
Get everybody moving.
I don't know about you, but the second time round on the hill climb is very funny. It's actually quite warm today. I don't know what the pressure is outside, the barometric pressure, but when I get down to the Racechrono, which is coming up about after this corner about now, this dip here, that's 10 meter deep. I actually feel my eardrum bursting. So it's actually quite a change of pressure there. It's actually a hill climb. The tyre actually gripping. This is the fourth run on the second session, so there's about 8 laps in the tyres. It's already gripping quite well. As you can see in the dial, I'm doing a 61.12, only 0.4 seconds from my best ever time. So I'm being quite happy, and I'm quite looking forward to beating the time that I set last outings. But the whole trick today, basically just to keep it quite tidy. It's very easy to get tidy. I think I actually beat my time in the first 2 sectors and sort of stop it up in the final sector. Looking from the top, when it's braking now and then going through the first right-hander and the second left-hander and the third right-hander, that's actually hard to get good times in, and I have a lot of variation in that. So see this is one of my fastest lap. That's 60.49. No, I'm actually braking too late. I thought there was something wrong with my brake pedal. Did I embed it properly since it's actually quite new? But it's actually my braking distance. I was underestimated it. You think I'm actually going through the motions here, but actually quite tricky to get these 3 corners right. What frustrating came when I look at my timing on my right hand side. It's really hard to get it right. So I'll get it right sometime. This is my fastest lap. It actually says here on the dial 60.09, but when I read my Racechrono, it's actually called 60.19. So I'm supposed to claim the lowest time, but I'll keep it at 60.19 at this stage. It's the first 2 before the dip, the first few corners before, it's actually quite crucial in setting up the good time. Drifting it out and staying in the middle of the track before you going in is quite important. I'll tell you about that later. But this is the crucial bits, left and right, and going to that mini straight, because this is where you lose and gain big times in. Braking here is quite important, not to get it wrong, because the first right-hander basically catches me from I think second turn about 20 to low 22s to even low 23, so I can lose a second here, just muck up the braking.
10 of the second.
Now this is my second session, and I designed the last session to do well, but actually I didn't. As you can see here, the optimal time is actually under a minute, but all the other times are over a minute. I look up to all my data and all my video, I come up with this solution, and see you agree with me. Now this is my best first sector time. I think the crucial bit is coming up about here. I did drift out a little bit and sort of have a narrow angle to the right, but as you can see here, actually quite further out on the right hand side before the big dip. You can see I drift out a little bit, although it's a narrow angle. When I turn left, still a touch bit of a road here, and I actually can line the car up straight, go in a dip, but in the same time you don't want to go in the right hand side and go in a ditch and hit the tyre wall. So you actually sort of catch-22, you don't want to go too far. Sector 2, this is the best sector time. I think the crucial bit is sort of coming up now, it's going to drift left a little bit. Now the crucial bit is here, when I get really close to the left and just sort of clings to the right, keep the momentum going to line straight towards the mini straight. Have to go, I can't do this consistently, this is the best I've done. Right and then left. I have to keep the throttle and half throttle and don't lose too much momentum. I probably gain about 4 kilometers an hour going through here. If you line it straight up, it's pretty good. Finally, final sector, if I do well, it's basically from the braking onwards. When the braking is done well, I think the last 2 corners wasn't too tricky. But I can lose up to a second and the braking and turning right. So I think this is have to be concentrated when I come back to Honda Hill next time. So my dream of 59 seconds didn't eventuate. Rain came after I got home, and this is my final track day of the year. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.